come give me wine. Wine on your seat, wine, wine, wine on your seat, come give me wine. Wine on your seat, wine, wine on your seat, seat on your seat, come give me wine. Wine on your seat, wine, wine, wine on your seat, come give me wine. Wine on your seat, wine, wine on your seat, seat on your seat, baby don't. Pop up on my party like animal, dance make you feel like CarNYval. I don't lock you down like criminal. One touch feeling like 1 million. People just say what you like a cinema. Wine bandit thing like CarNYval.
My name is Kiara Paige. I am the artistic director and founder of my dance company, CarNYval Dancers, and my business, Kulture Kave LLC. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a child of God, dancer, choreographer, all wrapped in one.
How did you get your start in dance?
Oh man, years and years and years ago. My granny, she put me in dance at Jamaica Center for Arts and Learning back in Queens. This might have been 27 years ago. So yeah, that's how I started.
And I can imagine that it's probably difficult telling your parents that that's a career that you want to pursue. What was that experience like for you?
Okay, so my mother, right, she was down for it, you know. It's kind of like, oh, sure, do your thing, you know. My Caribbean background on my father's side, however, it was more of a, this thing is a hobby. Like, what do you mean? You know, this is not something you pursue. How are you going to make money? How are you going to sustain yourself? Like, you know, but once I got married, there's like, that's your problem now, you know? So that type of thing. But eventually when they saw that I was doing flash mobs, I was on the news and traveling with my art, and then it became, oh, okay, so you're real serious about this thing here. All right, cool. You're doing things. So yeah.
Were there any specific choreographers or dances that you grew up watching that you were inspired by?
Oh, absolutely. Lorian Gibson was definitely one. There was a few that are just not coming to the top of my head at the moment, but there are definitely a lot of different choreographers. LaShawn Prescott is one of them that I found. Later on, she was the choreographer for Masha Montano. HD back in the day, you know, just seeing so many different dancers and seeing dancers that look like me and we have similar backgrounds, it was refreshing to see.
So hearing you talk about Marshall, how has your culture helped scope your dance?
Oh, absolutely. So it plays a major role in how I create my art and my creative process. Just my experiences as a Caribbean American woman, just really just tapping into who I am as a person, my background, my upbringing, listening to calypso as I grew, you know, I was raised up listening to soca, you know, and it's just those different experiences help me tell my story and through movement. So yeah.
Let's talk about carnival dances a little bit. Can you tell us tell us about that, how it got started?
Oh my gosh, carnival dancers, that was my first baby back in 2014, May 23rd. So May 23rd, 2014, I was like, I'm gonna start my own dance group, dance company. I wanted to create a space where we could represent the Afro-Caribbean diaspora. There really wasn't many spaces here in New York that I knew of. Trust me, I was checking Craigslist, there was nothing. So where individuals can really tap into their culture, we can share, exchange, and really just show the passion and our love for our culture and heritage through dance and movement. And, you know, take that and share it and broaden the community type of thing. So I'm super blessed to where it is now, you know, 10 years. So yeah.
So I know that dances take you all over the world. What would you say are some of your favorite places that you've been?
Internationally.
Or here.
I mean, I don't know, because New York is home. So obviously here, you know, home, this home for me, you know, I've been granted so many different opportunities here as far as New York. So, New York City Labor Day Parade, the soca flash mob, which was huge back in 2015 and the first of its kind, Lincoln Center, Radio City Music Hall, But internationally, I really enjoyed my time in Japan, even though it was super short. But I was booked and blessed to go and teach the soca community in Japan. Yes, there's a soca community in Japan, and it is very much alive and well. Big up soca in Japan and Keegan and the whole team. That was definitely a highlight in traveling with dance.
And would you say that you've experienced any hardships being a woman in the dance industry?
Absolutely. You know, so sometimes you're second guessed, and especially being in the arts, and sometimes it's not, dance is not really taken as seriously as it needs to be, and you know, so it's like, oh, you're just a dancer, you know, you're just a dancer, stay in your role, stay in the background, and I not taking that. That's not my type of thing. And so how I've moved from it and how I've changed it and changed the narrative is really just reminding my dancers and dancers that I come in contact with that they're an artist as well, right? And so that they can be at the forefront. They don't always have to be background. Hey, there's nothing wrong with doing your thing. But just remembering that your art matters, you matter, and so you should be seen and valued just as well. So, yeah.
So you are coming up on 10 years of CarNYval Dancers. What does this milestone mean for you?
You know, it's crazy because I was just talking to my dancers. Some of them were asking the same type of questions. And honestly, because of how we move and how everything is going, I really haven't been able to bask in it and sit and process just yet. So I'm still kind of like, are we here? Like, it just feels like another day, but I know that it's not, especially speaking with my dancers and just sometimes sitting back in rehearsal and watching like a community that I kind of created, and it's just like, you know, talking about myself and what I've done is weird at times, but to see different dances of so many different backgrounds and so many different walks of life come into a space and really just beyond dance, like have like a whole fellowship thing. You know, we'll be rehearsing and, you know, it gets loud because I have 20 plus dancers, a part of the company now. And, you know, sometimes it gets like really loud because they're having a good time. And I just kind of sit back and watch them because I feel like that's very important. It's not just about what we do on stage and in rehearsal. Like, it's the bonding, it's coming together, it's checking in on one another. Hey, you all right? You good? I haven't seen you in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? And, you know, we have dancers that are graduating or have graduated, and, you know, we're showing up to their graduation. So it really became like a family dynamic. Initially, I can't say that was what I was going for. It was just like, I like to dance. I love soca. I want to dance, and I want to create something in a space that I don't really see and make it a thing. And I really didn't have like a full vision of how it was going to grow, where it was going to grow to. I was just like, you know, early 20s. I'm like, you know, I could do this. I could whine. I could walk up my waistline, you know. So it just, to see where it is now it's mind blowing, and I'm so grateful for the cast of dancers that I've been blessed to work with. Even if they're no longer with the company, you know, I still check in from time to time. Everybody's doing well and amazing things. So yeah, it's just something that has grown beyond what I thought it would be, and I love that for us. Yeah.
Where do you see it going in the next 10 years in your perfect world?
You know, I like to be a little tight-lipped on certain things. That's a great question. So there are a few things that I want to accomplish, and I'm gonna put y'all up on game. I'm gonna give you a little tea, okay? But also so that when I watch this back, I'm also held accountable for what I said, okay? So there's a few things. I want to expand as far as dancers. I want more. I want our outreach to be more. I do want to get more into the public schools in sharing culture. And I do want to expand with another division. Now we have regular CarNYval dancers. We have CarNYval teens because the teens need it, okay? The teens be needing the guidance and the mentorship. But we also want to get to the school age kids. So I want to probably expand to CarNYval Kids. I want to expand musically. So not just using recorded music, but live music. I'm not a musician, but when I hear the drum, because I'm also trained in traditional West African dance, that is something, it's something about the live drum, right? And how it taps into our culture and who we are. And that it's not something that can be copied with audio, recorded music, right? So I want to bring that to our audience. I want them to feel those goosebumps. The same, anytime a drum is drumming, okay, a djembe, a dundun, or something, like I want that audience to feel that same heartbeat, that same thing that we get. So I really want to tap into live music for our performances, maybe a little theater, you know, because we be acting a damn fool in rehearsals. And I've realized there's a piece that we're working on called a CarNYval Welcome, and we're channeling more theater Broadway-ish, and it's going to Allison Hines and Square One Ion Bazodi. So we're singing, and I didn't realize some of my dancers got vocals. I said, hey, watch Tang. So tapping into that. And then something else that has been pulling at me for years, but I'm not really sure how to get into it just yet, or if I'm ready, mass. I really want to start either a band, a section, partner with somebody, something. So hopefully when this thing airs, maybe I have the ball rolling on that. But I know there's a few different things. I put y'all up on game, so, but I'm also holding myself accountable. So when I watch this back, I'm like, oh, I didn't even tap into that yet.
10 years from now, you're going to be like, check.
Oh, check. Okay, maybe 5. Hold on now.
Okay. Controversial. What are your top 2 carnival destinations?
That I've been or that I would like to?
Either one.
Okay. It has to be home, Trinidad and Tobago, 1, right? And I'd really like to, I know this is different, I'd really like to experience Carnival in Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it about Brazil that captures you?
You know, I've been watching some Brazilian culture for a couple years now. It's the community, the aspect of everybody's involved, right? There's nobody on the side. Everybody's involved. Everybody know the music. Everybody jumping up. Everybody is present. You know, that type of thing. Of course, I get that back home in Trinidad, but it's just maybe a different type of music. I like baile funk. I like, you know, that type of, you know, that, you know, I like all that. So just a little something different. I would say Brazil is where I'd like to experience a carnival.
Okay. And if anybody wanted to check you out, check out your dancers, do you have any upcoming events? Where can they follow you?
Sure. Okay, so I spoke about my other baby, which is my business, Kulture Kave LLC. It was a brand that I created during the pandemic, just to highlight Black dance creatives. So not just the Caribbean diaspora, but just the whole diaspora as a whole, hip hop, Afrobeat, soca, dancehall, you know, just the whole umbrella. And for Black creatives to have a space to, you know, showcase their art. You know, it was also like a space to, you know, some artists are not necessarily given the same platforms, and if you don't have a lot of followers, right, your art doesn't matter. And so I kind of wanted to change the narrative on that and just create a safe space for dancers to come and promote and showcase their work. And it's going to be 5 years this year in November. The shows have been sold out for 100 people. Yeah, for the last 2-3 years. Yeah, it's crazy. Thank you so much. And so this November 8th, 2024, that's the year we're in, right? Yeah, November 8th, 2024, Jamaica Performing Arts Center. We'll be showcasing headlining another choreography showcase of different choreographers of different backgrounds, different artists. And I'll also, this year, I'm going to try to build it up a little more and make it more like a festival, a weekend. Hopefully, if the funds are funding, you know. But yeah, that's something that I'm going to be working towards in November. So hopefully you guys join us. Yeah.
And where can people follow you?
Oh, sure, yeah. I'm on Instagram, Born, the number 2, Perform, Ki. CarNYval Dancers is CarNY, okay? VAL Dancers. And Kulture Kave is KultureKave. And that's how you can find me. Just slide up in the DMs.
Come give me wine, wine on your seat, wine, wine, wine on your seat. Come give me wine, wine on your seat, wine, wine on your seat, seat on your seat. Come give me wine, wine on your seat, wine, wine, wine on your seat. Come give me wine, wine on your seat, wine, wine on your seat, seat on your seat. Baby, don't wine on your seat, don't